Ooh, do. Oh man, it has been some time. We're working on tonight. We are finishing up March. That's what we are working on. Which one is that? Oh wait, what the heck is going on? Why are these out of order? Weird. No, that's the wrong window. Yeah. So it's been a little while since I have gone live to do some D&D stuff. So want to touch base on where I'm at with March and kind of get everything organized, get everything set up. Talk a little bit about that. And yeah, discuss some things that we're going to be working on in April. So lots of fun times. As April is me birth month, it's going to be front loaded. It's going to have all the stuffs. Deja vu, yeah. All right. Gotta open this up. So we got all kinds of cool stuff to look at. Oop. All right. So yeah, just as a reminder, this whole year over here in Kel's Corner, we're working on monthly themed homebrews. And every month is a different theme. So in January, we had Frostfell Adventures. Where are we at? Here we go. Yeah, we had Frostfell Adventures, Embrace the Cold and Snow of Winter. In February, we had the Court of Love and Valor, where romance and chivalry meet in a dance of destiny. And leading off this month, I don't even have a PDF or a full thing for it. I think this is the most... Is this the most recent one, or is it it's the other one? Yeah, here we go. There we go. The Whims of luck and fate navigate the capricious tides of fate and fortune. So that is what we have in store for us here at the end of March as we are coming down to a close. And I know that I have been drastically I don't want to say that I've been unavailable for this project. I just have not been streaming as much as I, would have. Obviously most who watch this know that I, had a kid back in February, or the end of January. So yeah, just taking some time there. Also just general exhaustion and whatnot, have taken a hold, but, yeah, so these streams, while they might not be every week, they will likely be every 2 weeks if I don't. So I don't want to ever go more than 2 weeks between updates. And I have been trying to get better at keeping things updated over in the Discord, which I recently did add the spells and feat, or I added the spells that I worked on over there. I have not added the magic items and monsters that I'm going to talk about today, or nor the race and background or the subclass, but we have talked about those on stream, so that is kind of its own thing. But yeah, so we're going to talk about some things. I've altered a few things here and there based on some community suggestions. So I'm going to pull up the different ones. I believe these are, is this, oh yeah, that's one of the things. What's up? So yeah, as you can see, obviously, throttling takes the highest precedence. Yeah. Oh no, I appreciate that. Yeah, she's doing good. Luckily, luckily I got an amazing wife who's able to keep an eye on her for the most part. So, but yeah, so we've had a few changes to our cleric. This is the luck domain, invoking blessings of deities associated with luck and fate, such as Timora and Bashaba. Just trying to get a general sense of Shamrock, yeah, the best cantrip. Just trying to get a general sense of a cleric subclass that calls to the gods of fate, and it definitely seems more like luck, but it was like fate or luck. But yeah, so initially we had the Channel Divinity Twisted Luck as a kind of a 2-feature thing that did sort of the same thing, but two different ways of it. One was that as a reaction, when you are an ally, miss an attack or fail an ability check or save, you can use your Channel Divinity to allow them to reroll, take the higher. And the other one was that if a hostile creature within 30 feet succeeds on one of those, you can actually use it to make them reroll and take the lower. We kind of cleaned that up due to a suggestion from the community that it's now when a creature you can see within 30 feet succeeds or fails on an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, you can use your reaction to force the creature to reroll and use the higher or lower roll, your choice. Just very much cleans it up. It's much neater when it comes down to it. Kind of the same thing over here for Tortuous Fate, where it was about the, invoke fortune, invoke misfortune. Just got a nice cleanup that whenever you use Channel Divinity, you can treat the D20 as a 1 or a 20 of your choice. I also changed the Lucky Strikes to potent spell casting. The reason why I did that is I had somebody point out to me that when you're developing a cleric subclass, and I'll be honest with you, this was the first cleric that I had ever made, level 8 always either gets some kind of divine strike or potent spell casting, and that the subclasses that would get the lucky strikes or the divine strikes, where your weapon attacks deal extra radiant damage, is ones that at the first level would gain proficiency with an armor or some set of weapons like a war cleric. All the other ones get potent spell casting because this subclass is, because this doesn't give weapon proficiencies or armor proficiencies early on, this is not necessarily going to be a like a melee frontliner class. So it definitely is something that favors more being in the background. So that is why we went with the potent spell casting, as you can see. And the last thing is that Perilous Premonition got just a very slight change, and that's that we added that in order to use it, it's as a reaction when you're hit by a critical, or sorry, as a reaction when you are critically hit by an attack, you can reduce the damage by an amount equal to your cleric level. So yeah, just again, kind of cleaning some things up, some things that I've learned along the way, such as your class features. Even though I always thought that it was like your bonus some things and then proficiencies go next, like you get all your spells are lumped together, then your proficiencies, and then your subclass feature. I actually found out that it's just alphabetical. So bonus cantrip, fortune favors the bold, and gambler's insight. So yeah, also, and I don't know if I ever, yeah, initially somebody had thought that this one was about melee attacks, and it's not. So yeah, really nice cleric subclass in my opinion. Something that is all about controlling the state of the battlefield in a way. Being able to allow your allies to re-roll some dice in their favor, and forcing the monsters and enemies to re-roll dice also in your favor. Very much would play well with levels into, say, Divination Wizard, where you get your Portent ability, where you can choose, what number a creature takes on their ability. Very much plays into a similar style like that. So there is the Luck Domain Cleric. Up next, we have the Leprechaun, which is a leprechaun-themed race. So, deep in a verdant forest where luck weaves through the leaves like a whispered secret, the leprechaun thrive. It's said to cross paths with a leprechaun is to brush against the fabric of fortune itself, and the mischievous grins are the heralds of unexpected boons. So leprechaun are very whimsical creatures. They're kind of like the cross between a halfling and a kender, and kind of like a gnome, almost like the luck from a halfling, the kind of playful whimsical nature of a kender, but the innate magics, the illusory magics, and also connection to, like, I don't want to say tinkering, but like to like metals, as the gnomes do. So leprechaun are as whimsical as their nature, favoring wit and evasion over direct combat. Quick to laugh and shift, and swift to avoid a fight, they rely on trickery and illusions to navigate danger. In social gatherings, their charm shines, making them delightful companions, yet their love for freedom always means their love for freedom means they're always ready to slip away from any bonds. A leprechaun's bravery lies in their cleverness, choosing to outsmart rather than outfight foes. Their main abilities is a +2 to dexterity and a +1 to charisma, which obviously can always be changed by the by the player. They live on average about 200 years and reach maturity around 125 to 150 years old. I specifically wanted to have this part in there about their age. Obviously, age when it comes to fantastical creatures is just something more of like, you know, thrown in a barrel. Custom Origin has made, yeah, it does. Yeah, the racial ability score increases is like more of a suggestion than anything else. It's like, hey, they're, the way I kind of look at it is like, whatever their +2 is, it's like, hey, Leprechaun are normally more dexterous, and their +1 is like, and they're usually more charismatic, where they're not really, you know, they're not really strong. They're not like, you know, they're not like sought after for their intelligence or their wisdom or anything like that, but they're quick and they are witty. This is the thing. Yes, exactly. The thing prized in their society. That's a good way to phrase it. So yeah, when it comes to their age, I wanted their maturity to be something that like came much later in life. So they kind of live like 75% of their life as immature, where it's not so much like a physical immaturity. They always have this very like childlike look to themselves, but it's only once they reach like into their like into that like mid 2nd century, or you know, the like, you know, the first third of that that 2nd century, where they're starting to like get a little slower, get a little older, and, you know, have time to reflect on the things that they did in their youth. They are small, so their speed's only 25 feet. And again, there's kind of some things here that are birthed from Halfling, Kender, and Gnome. So obviously I did not want to just steal the lucky trait from the Halfling. So instead of having, you know, the whole thing of just getting to reroll ones, Charmed Luck, once per long rest, you can reroll one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw of your choice, and you must use the new one. So it's a one-time thing, and you just get to reroll, you know, any one of your checks. Mirthful Illusionist, this plays into kind of the Kender ability, but also into the Gnome. The Gnomes do have like minor illusion, very similar. So Mirthful Illusionist is designed similarly to the new Ganassi race. So the way that they redesigned it is that you get a cantrip, and then you get a level 1 spell at 3rd level and a level 2 spell at 5th level. You can use each one of these once per day. I mean, the cantrips obviously at will, but you can also use them with spell slots as long as you have them. And Charisma is the spellcasting ability for this, but they get Disguise Self and Misty Step along with minor illusion. So just kind of this idea of they're hard to detect, they know how to escape. You know, they'll change their face, they'll disappear in a you know, cloud of multicolored mist, just doing whatever they can to spread chaos and whimsy. And then we have Treasure Finder. Once per long rest, as an action, you can concentrate to sense the presence of precious metals and gemstones within 30 feet of you. This sense can penetrate barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Again, they're based on leprechauns. Leprechauns often have pots of gold. They often have their treasure hoards. So I just find it very funny that, you know, being that they have their ways of, you know, finding themselves in situations where they are, you know, gambling and having fun and just, you know, reveling in company, they might know who has the most gold or who has the most prized gems and be willing to take them up on some bets. And lastly, Born Appraiser. When you make an intelligence investigation check, related to discerning the value of treasure, including coins, gemstones, jewelry, and art objects. You are considered proficient in the investigation skill and double your proficiency bonus to the check. So they just have a knack for knowing the value of stuff. Again, they don't just have, the idea of a leprechaun with a pot of gold was very much just where that was born for me. And I think it's interesting. I know this is actually pulled almost verbatim from the hill dwarf or mountain dwarf, one of those that is about stonework. So, and I always really liked that about them, where it's just like something so innate to them that they're able to recall information, or they know how that works. Whereas for them, they just know the value of it. They have that eye for treasure. So that is the leprechaun. See, we got some cute little artworks down there. I actually have full-sized images, and I keep thinking about posting them because this one's got like a really cool little locket, and I love the detail that ChatGPT does with this art of, like, it almost looks like this is whatchamacallit, that like felt that felt material, because of the detail that's in it is just absolutely amazing. It looks like it would rob me if I found a pot of gold. Very much so. He would probably try to. Carries his lucky locket around his neck. Yeah, I might have to upload these pictures somewhere because I have like a whole catalog of them. All right. Up next, we have the fortune teller background. The fortune teller background in the tapestry of fate. Every thread weaves a story, and you, the fortune teller, hold the loom. Your presence is a beacon of mystery and intrigue, drawing the curious and desperate from all walks of life. They seek the whispers of destiny and secrets veiled in the stars, or the truths hidden in the lines of their palms. To them, you are a guide, a prophet, and sometimes their last hope for answers in an uncertain world. As you lay out the cards, gaze into the crystal ball, or interpret the pattern in tea leaves. You are more than a mere performer. You are a bridge between the mundane and the mystical, the known and the unknown. With each reading, you weave a narrative that captivates and consoles, offering not just predictions, but a reflection of desires, fears, and the hidden threads of fate that bind us all. Your words are laced with an enigmatic allure, leaving your clients hanging on every cryptic phrase, eager for a glimpse into the unseen. So obviously, everybody knows about fortune tellers, so don't have to go too much into that, but the main feature of this is the mysterious medium. So it's kind of very similar in a way to the Haunted One's Dark One background. You have mastered the art of presenting yourself as a mystic seer, blending the line between genuine insight and clever performance. You can effortlessly find a venue for your fortune-telling services in any settlement, be it a bustling market, a cozy tavern, or even a noble's court. When you conduct a reading for a willing participant, your enigmatic demeanor and carefully chosen words lead them to trust in the plausibility of your predictions, holding on to your revelations as truth until proven otherwise. So this kind of plays like the entertainer background, where you're always able to find a place to perform and you'll gain some extra gold when you do that, or even a place to sleep. But it's kind of more into the dark, into the Haunted Ones. I forget what it's specifically called. Heart of Darkness. Yeah, Those who look into your eyes can see that you have faced unimaginable horror, and you're no stranger to darkness. Though they might fear you, commoners will extend to you every courtesy and do their utmost to help you. Yeah, that's, no, I'm sorry. I did get those messed up. That is more like the folk hero one. But yeah, it's kind of just like about being like an allure, you know, that's, oh, you know what it is? Far Traveler. This is it. Here we go. This is the one that it was like. Your accent, mannerisms, figures of speech, and perhaps even your appearance all mark you as foreign. Curious glances, blah, blah, blah. You can parlay this attention into access to people and places you might not have otherwise. So, and that's kind of the same with this. Like, you are going to be able to gain access to somewhere for your performance, and people will believe you. They will hold on to the fact that these are probably true readings, whether they are or not. The benefits you get from this background is the proficiency in insight and perception, one type of fortune teller's tools as a proficiency, and a language of your choice. And the equipment is a set of fortune teller's tools, a set of traveler's clothes, coin pouch containing 15 gold, and a small trinket or lucky charm. And the background feat I associated with this is telepathic, because if it wasn't, I don't know what else I would have done. I know that telepathic is kind of a heavy one, where for matchmaker we had like observer, and for the Arctic Explorer we had tough. Telepathic has a lot of like in-game, it has a lot of heavy connotations that play into it, but I think it's fairly appropriate. If you're making a fortune teller, you might want to look into the telepathic feat. And then I also have down here in the bottom right a small table of fortune telling tools that you can use as your tool proficiency. Stuff like a crystal ball, tarot cards, star charts, a set of bones, rune stones, a spirit board, tea leaves, or marked dice. Now I did have it bring up, somebody did bring up, you know, the fact that crystal ball could be misconstrued as the crystal ball that is available in the Dungeon Master's Guide, which is a magic item that lets you cast scrying. Okay, yes. So palmistry, I considered putting that on here, but I actually didn't know how I would do that. Because I don't know what that would be unless I change star charts to like star/palm charts. Because I guess that's what it would be, right? Because my understanding is, you know, you would have like a guide, so we could just do that and have it be, there we go, star/palm charts. So this way it's this one more or less being like a slew of papers. Well, honestly, you know, we could just add another one. No harm in that. Oh, maybe there is harm in that. Okay, here, wait, let's see. Let's find table. There we go. There we go. We'll just change that font to 10 and that'll fix it. There we go. Palmistry guide. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know. I knew that reading palms was a thing. I didn't know like what that would entail. But makes total sense that it would just be like a guide or something. So yeah, palmistry guide. Yeah, and we'll keep it at 10. I don't imagine that would be that overly expensive. All right. So let's update that. And there we go. Palmistry guide. Very nice. All right. Moving on to our magic items. So the magic items for this month are definitely ones that we have more than we have had in previous months. So we have some interesting ones and some that actually come together with a very unique use when used together. So the first one is the Serpent's Bane Flute. This wooden flute is adorned with Celtic knots. When played, it creates a sound that is soothing to allies, but unbearable to serpents. Any snake or serpent-like creature within 30 feet of the player must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom save or become frightened for 1 minute. Additionally, while the flute is being played, allies within 30 feet have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. The flute can be used in this way once per short rest. So, obviously, this whole month is based on, luck and fate, and that has a lot to do with St. Patrick's Day. And one of the things about St. Patrick as part of the myth is that he drove the snakes out of Ireland. Now, if you know the lore, you'll know that, he was not actually driving real snakes out. He was driving pagans out, snakes to the church, if you will. But obviously, we're not going to get into those heavy theological aspects here, but we will go into the snake part. So yeah, just a cool magic item that can be used to drive away snakes. A nice thing that maybe if you and your allies are traveling through a swampy region, which would have swarms of snakes or like large constrictors. I know for a fact when what was it? It was there was when my players were going through the swamps of the Mirror of Dead Men, I had introduced a giant like snake skeleton. I can't remember which one it was, but oh, here, I think this, no, that's not it, because that's a different, but honestly, I'm very curious to see what that, oh, wait, is it this one? No, that's Plane Shift. Monstrous, Soil Snake. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I am very, you know what? No, I think this is the one I used. Yeah, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Yeah, so just essentially a huge giant zombie constrictor snake that for the most part works like a normal one, but has the undead fortitude. And also, yeah, just I guess standard zombie snakes. I didn't even know that I had that one. Interesting. All right. But yeah, so that is the Serpent's Bane Flute. Up next, we have the Shamrock Pendant. This pendant is shaped like a green shamrock and grants the wearer a +1 to saving throws. In addition, once per long rest, the wearer can activate the pendant to cast Bless on up to 3 allies within 30 feet without using a spell slot. So just very much playing into the whole idea of granting you a little bit of luck, you know, getting you that +1 to saving throws, and also allowing you to get a bit of a buff to your allies. Again, Bless was kind of one of those spells that very much came up a lot when I was thinking about luck and fate and, you know, good luck and stuff like that. Boots of the Rainbow's End. These boots are made of green leather with gold buckles that are imbued with the magic of leprechauns. While wearing these boots, your movement speed increases by 10 feet. Additionally, once per long rest, you can click your heels together to cast Misty Step, appearing to move in a rainbow arc to your new location. Oh no, I hear the baby crying. So again, we've talked about it, you know, playing into the whole idea of leprechauns and whatnot, getting some cool boots that allow you to get that Misty Step ability that the leprechaun has. So, you know, playing into some of their abilities. Up next, so obviously with these first ones, this plays very heavily into, you know, St. Patrick's Day, the luck of the Irish, things like that, leprechauns and Irish lore. Now we are getting into stuff that has more to play with misfortune and bad luck, where we have the Shield of Broken Mirrors. This shield, crafted from polished metal and inlaid with enchanted mirrors, has 7 charges. While holding the shield, you gain a +2 to AC. When a creature targets you with an attack, you can expend a charge and use your reaction to impose the shield, causing one of the mirrors to shatter. The triggering attack is then redirected at the triggering creature. The shield regains 1d6 +1 expended charges daily at dawn, and if you expend the last charge, roll a d20, and on a 7, the shield shatters, dealing 1d8 slashing damage to all creatures within 5 feet of it. So, just an opportunity to kind of redirect some of your enemies' attacks back at themselves. I might still need to change this one. I feel like it might be a little too powerful at this moment for a rare item. This might need to be something where the damage is reduced or something like that. Definitely this one is still a work in progress, as it, or it could be that, you know, it deals 1d8 slashing damage to you and the triggering creature, but they take the full brunt of it. You know, you kind of take that little bit of splash damage or something like that. But yeah, I definitely have to think a little bit more about that one, just because it is a little bit more powerful. Moving on to the lenses of the black cat. So obviously black cats are big into bad luck, as it is, you know, supposedly bad luck to cross paths with a black cat. And the lenses of the black cat, these yellow tinted lenses grant the wearer dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. In addition, the wearer gains advantage on investigation checks made to find traps, and once per day, the wearer can use the lenses to cast the Find Trap spell without using a spell slot or material components. Then we have the boots of the black cat. These sleek black boots grant the wearer advantage on dexterity saves. While in combat, the boot allows the wearer to pass through the space of one creature as part of their movement. The creature whose space is passed through suffers disadvantage on their next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. And once per day, the wearer can use the boots to cast Jump without requiring a spell slot. And then lastly, Claws of the Black Cat. It's a These magical claws made of black metal fit snugly over the wearer's hands, enhancing their natural unarmed strikes. The wearer's unarmed strikes deal 1d6 slashing damage instead of the normal bludgeoning damage, and gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with their unarmed strikes. Once per day, the wearer can use the claws to cast the Cloud of Daggers spell without using a spell slot or material component. The daggers summoned by the spell take the form of ethereal black cat claws that slash at creatures within the aura. And as a bonus, and I meant to put something in there, and I also forgot to add something else. I'm going to do it here. Yeah, that's what I needed. You know what? Actually, if I don't, I can just change this to Boon of the Black Cat. There we go. But I need to change something here. Is it, there we go. That should also be italicized. Needs to be a space there. And this needs to be the same thing. I don't know why I didn't realize this whenever I was first putting it together. Cloud of Daggers. There we go. Making sure to signify where we're just... Oh, wait. Here we go. We got Misty Step as well. Just specific parts where we refer to actual spells. This way we kind of keep track of those. Will that work if I do that? No, it doesn't. Okay. All right. Perfect. So there we go. Oh crap. Wow. I literally closed out the page that I wasn't finished. I actually had to do it to one more. Because the Boon of the Black Cat, as I was going to get to, if you are wearing the lenses, the boots, and the claws of the Black Cat, you can cast the polymorph spell on yourself once per day as an action to transform into a black cat. This transformation allows the wearer to retain their mental ability scores as well as their ability to speak in the new state. There we go. Good. So yeah, basically if you're wearing the, the yellow glasses, the claws, and the boots, once per day, you can transform yourself into a black cat free of charge. All right, moving on to the spells and the feats. Some of the fun ones that we put together. So first off, cantrip, shamrock. It's not divination. The hell? God damn it. That is illusion. There we go. All right, so still best spell, yes. Yeah, so the Shamrock cantrip is one action, a range of 60 feet, verbal and somatic components, and lasts for 1 minute. You create an illusory object in your hand that resembles a rock. You can throw the Shamrock up to 60 feet, and it clatters as a normal rock would upon impact. You could use the Shamrock as an improvised weapon to make a ranged attack against a creature, treating it as a normal rock for the purposes of the attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d4 psychic damage. When a creature inspects the Shamrock, it must make an investigation check against your spell save DC. On a success, the creature discerns that the Shamrock is an illusion. On a failure, the creature believes it to be a real rock. And as you gain levels, your damage with this increases by 1d4 at 5th, 11th, and 17th levels. This is a great spell with just a perfect name, an awesome play on words, and I absolutely love it. So yes, this is by far, hands down, the best thing that came out of March's whole collection. All right, so up next we have Gilded Tongue. It's a first level enchantment spell, one action, and lasts for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, your words are imbued with a persuasive magic that enhances your bargaining and negotiation skills. You have an advantage on charisma persuasion checks made to negotiate prices, and creatures you negotiate with are more inclined to favor your terms as long as they're not outright harmful to your interests. This definitely played a part very similar to the Glib spell that came up with Acquisitions Incorporated, and some of the spells that were in there about, like, transactions and stuff. So kind of played along that lines of making this one almost hyper specific when it comes to negotiations and whatnot. But I think overall a really fun spell that a bard might have a lot of fun with, or a deceptive warlock who's trying to get a good deal on something or make a contract. Level 2, Bestow Luck. One action, lasts for, and it has a material component of a 4-leaf clover. You touch a willing creature and grant it a period of extended luck. Whenever the target makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw before the spell ends, which it lasts for 4 hours, the target can roll an additional d4 and add the number rolled to the total. This bonus can be used 4 times, after which the spell ends. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a slot of 4th level or higher, the die size increases, using a d6 at 4th and 5th, a d8 at 6th and 7th, and a d10 at 8th and 9th level. Moving on to 3rd level illusion spell, Leprechaun's Leap. It's a casting time of 1 action and is instantaneous. You transform into a shimmering rainbow and swiftly teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see, leaving behind an illusory pot of gold coins that appears at your original location. Each creature within 5 feet of your starting point must make a wisdom save or be charmed for 1 round. While charmed, the creature is fascinated by the coins and uses its turn to try and scoop up as many as it can. This one was talked about with, it was kind of talked about over in a different Discord that I was in, and kind of plays into the idea of leprechauns and their association with gold and rainbows and whatnot. So kind of playing into that whole jive of creating this rainbow, and it's actually what the artwork here is based on. I tried to get as good artwork as I could. It's literally a double rainbow. As you can see, the colors are right, and then it goes into like a, there's like a double rainbow at the end of it. I don't know. It was really weird, but I kind of really liked this art, and so just thought it was cool. Yeah, but so you create that pot of gold at your feet, and you leap away in an arc over to a different space, and those creatures that were around you, they go for the gold. All right, up next we have the spell Foretell. It's a 4th level divination ritual spell. It's 1 action and requires a set of tarot cards or a crystal ball as a material component. You tap into the threads of fate and receive a vision or sense of an event that will happen to a creature you can see within 30 feet. This event is something that will occur within the next 7 days. The vision is cryptic and open to interpretation, often appearing as a series of symbolic images or feelings. The DM decides the nature of the vision and how it relates to the future event. The vision does not provide exact details or specific outcomes, but gives a sense of the general nature or emotional impact on the emotional impact of the event. So there's a spell called Divination, which is available to clerics that works very similar to this, but is about, it's something that is like, you will get an answer from a deity about like whether something will or will not happen within, the next 7 days. This is a little bit more limited to that, as it is a creature that you can see within range. You are only getting a cryptic idea of something that may happen. But, it is something that can be played into when it comes down to like learning about an NPC or something like that, or, wanting to follow up on somebody, you kind of foretell for them and give them a warning about something. So I'd be curious to see if anybody uses that spell in their games. All right, and lastly, the last spell that we have here is level 5 enchantment, Fate's Decree. It's a casting time of 1 action, a range of 60 feet. It is instantaneous. You attempt to alter the fate of a creature you can see within range. The creature must make a wisdom save. On a failed save, they are racked with visions of its possible demise. All right, man, have a good night. Enjoy your sleep, and believe me, I will be trying to get some sleep tonight. I gotta go back to work this week, so I gotta try and get my sleep cycles back in order. But on a failed save, the target is racked with visions of its possible demise. You can choose one of the following effects. The target gains a level of exhaustion, the target is paralyzed until the end of its next turn, or the target takes 8d6 psychic damage. So you're obviously not getting all of these options. You can't do all of these at once, but getting some, either giving it some disadvantages, or this, and using it in the new system, this is a -1 to, you know, a bunch of stuff. Or if you have a couple people that are able to cast Fate's Decree, you know, be able to kind of dogpile that onto a creature. This one, Paralyzed, that's a heavy hitter that's taking them out for 2 rounds, and they, you know, at that point you can dish into them what you can. And this is, not only is this the damage of a fireball, but it's psychic, which plays real heavy because not a lot of things resist psychic damage. So that's a big one. And then we have 2 feats here in March. Firstly, we have Serpent Slayer, again, kind of playing into the whole idea of St. Patrick driving away the snakes. You have trained tirelessly to combat the serpentine threats that lurk in the shadows, mastering techniques to track and resist their venomous assaults. You gain the following benefits. Serpentine Foe, you have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track snakes, yuan-ti, and other serpentine creatures, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them. Venom Resistance, you have resistance to poison damage and advantage on saves against being poisoned. Slayer's Strike, when you hit a snake, yuan-ti, or other serpentine creature with a weapon, you deal an extra 1d6 of the weapon's type to the target. This bonus increases to 2d6 if the target is a monstrosity or a humanoid with snake-like features. So obviously stuff like Medusas, yuan-ti, anything that could be construed as snake-like. And lastly, Constrictor's Grasp. If a serpentine creature attempts to grapple or constrict you, you have advantage on your saving throw or ability check to resist or escape the grapple. So very much you have trained to fight snakes and you are just good at it. And lastly, we have Opportunist. Using luck in combat to the best of your abilities, your keen instincts and precise timing allow you to seize fleeting chances in the heat of battle, turning the tide with a well-placed strike or deftly avoiding an enemy's blow. You gain the following benefits. Once per long rest, when you make a melee attack roll and miss, you can use your reaction to turn it into a hit. Alternatively, you can turn a hit into a critical hit. On a critical hit generated by this feat, your attack deals an extra die of damage. And Defensive Opportunity. Once per long rest, when a creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to turn the hit into a miss. As part of this reaction, you can make an opportunity attack against the attacking creature. So it's all about being open for opportunity, being able to take those opportunities when they present themselves. So there we go. Got some pretty nice, in my opinion, luck and St. Patrick's Day themed spells and feats. And lastly, we have our small fae chaotic creature this month, the Leprechaun. Funny enough, there's no standard leprechaun in like D&D lore. So here we go. He's a CR4, resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical, and is also resistant to charmed. Has a high deception, high persuasion, high sleight of hand, and stealth. 25-foot movement speed, small, and only 44 hit points. It's not like, this is not going to be somebody who's like frontlining. This is going to be more of an elusive character. They have innate spell casting with charisma as their spell casting ability, and it can innately cast minor illusion, prestidigitation, mage hand, and then 3 times a day it can cast invisibility, charm person, and fairy fire, and once per day it can cast rainbow bridge, which is just a flavored version of Dimension Door. I just wanted to kind of give it its own thing. So Dimension Door is the one where you pick a location within like 500 feet, this one is the same thing. It just creates a rainbow that teleports you there. I gave it sneak attack because I imagined this being like a trickster invisibility, you know, coming up and smacking you in the back of your kneecaps kind of thing. Also, pot of gold. The leprechaun carries a small pot that contains a number of gold coins equal to its hit points. As an action, the leprechaun can throw a coin from its pot at a creature it can see within 30 feet. The target must succeed on a DC 13 Dex save or be charmed by the leprechaun for 1 minute. While charmed in this way, the creature is compelled to try and grab more coins, using its movement and actions to pick up any coins it sees. The leprechaun can use this ability a number of times equal to its charisma modifier per day. So just kind of able to throw them out, you know, and have a handful of coins that it's charming its enemies with. And it has one attack that it can do twice. It has multi-attack, +7 to hit, 1d8 +5 bludgeoning. It's Shillelagh. It's that classic druid spell, but you know, just carrying around a Shillelagh stick. And it's flavor text. In the verdant meadows and rolling hills where folklore and reality intertwine, the leprechaun makes its home. A creature of whimsy and mischief, this small, bearded fae is as elusive as the end of the rainbow. Cloaked in green with a twinkle in its eye, the leprechaun is a master of riddles and a hoarder of gold. They are said to possess pots of treasure hidden away from prying eyes, and it is this wealth that drives many an adventurer to seek them out. But to encounter a leprechaun is to engage in its game of wits and luck. They are tricksters at heart, favoring cleverness over brawn. With a laugh that echoes through the hills, they lead would-be treasure hunters on wild chases, vanishing into thin air when they seem within reach. Yet for those who respect their cunning and offer good humor in return, a leprechaun might just part with a hint of their hoard or bestow a wish, though always with a twist befitting their mischievous nature. The leprechaun's true magic, however, lies in their embodiment of the unpredictable spirit of fortune. They remind us that wealth is not always measured in gold, but in the richness of experience and the joy of the unexpected. In the dance of the leprechaun's jig and the sparkle of their gold, we find the essence of adventure and the allure of the unknown. So there we go. Got a nice little lovely leprechaun stat block, little trickster fae. As always, fae are tricksters. Don't trust them. But there we go. That is the overall view of March's whole catalog. The Whims of... no, wrong one. Where'd it go? There it is. The Whims of Luck and Fate, navigating the capricious tides of fate and fortune. So I'll be putting this one out next week. So I'm going to put together this PDF this evening. So this will be out next week. If you did not already see over at kelfscorner.com at the Patreon, you can actually find January's Frostfell Adventures and February's Court of Love and Valor PDFs set up over there. So if you want to get those, you can head on over there. The Patreon is free. Everything over there is free and available, or you can check out the Discord where I post them over there as well. I'm probably not going to go too much longer tonight, but I am going to kind of give a little bit of an idea of some of the stuff that I'm going to be working on for, because I'm not doing these anymore. I've made a lot of changes since I did this. Where's my other notes? Here we go. So one of the things that that I'm going to be working on for the month of April is going to be named Showers of Life and Renewal Bask in the Rains of Growth and the rebirth of the world's reawakening. Bask in the rains of growth and rebirth in the world's reawakening. Yeah, say the way I worded that. Here we go. Yes, we're not doing a Raincaller Wizard. Actually, we're going to be doing a School of Life Wizard, or a Lifebringer Wizard. So, initially, my thoughts for April was to do, like, rainfall mysteries, like uncovering new realities, new truths. And a lot of that had a lot of ties to divination magic, and I wasn't too keen on it, and I wanted to come up with something that was gonna be different. And I'm changing a lot of this. What we're actually going to be doing is we're kind of going to go with a theme that plays into April showers, bring May flowers. You know, May is going to be about flowers and floral stuff. But I also wanted it to be on how in April we have Easter Monday. You know, so obviously Easter is a holiday about life and birth and renewal. But in April we also have Earth Day. You know, it's a time of celebrating the earth and seeing it, you know, wanting to protect it, wanting to bring balance back to the world. So something that we will be doing. I don't know why I don't have this note somewhere else. Maybe did I put it further down? Oh, that's why. I put it further down. But we're actually going to be doing 2 subclasses for April. We are going to be doing a School of Life Wizard. We are also going to be doing a Green Guardian Artificer. Is that how you spell Artificer? Yeah. Or, you know, specializes in using so a buddy of mine was actually talking about when we were discussing this was the idea of a solar powered artificer, somebody that uses renewable energy. And I thought that'd be really funny for Earth Day, about having an artificer that you know, allows you to ignore the effects of stuff like stinking cloud or fog cloud and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to play into. This one we're going to have 2 subclasses, because Artificer wouldn't have fit anywhere else. And then we also have Sproutlings as a race of small like sprout or seedling like creatures that are able to regenerate and spread their roots into the soils to gain nourishment. And a conservationist, somebody who is about maintaining order in nature. So I had some details, but I changed them kind of last minute, so I'm gonna have to rewrite those. But I am looking forward to putting more into this one. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me tonight, because it is getting late, and I got to readjust my schedule a little bit there. So I want to thank everybody who came by. Thank you so much, Jay, for hanging out there in the chat. I know you already left, but I still want to say thank you. If you are interested in anything that I'm working on, please hop on over to kelscorner.com. You can come and find us at the Discord. You can also go to the Patreon, and I post them. I generally post these about a week or so after I finish them up, like at the end of the month. So generally, like the first week or so of the new month, you'll see the last month go up. So yeah, if you are interested in what we're working on, come over and help us and offer your ideas. There's always going to be a chat open over there where you can spread your ideas and, you know, have some thoughts of your own. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know this was a short one, but just kind of wanted to hang out for a bit and talk some things out and let you know what I've been working on. So y'all have a good night. Enjoy your evenings. Thanks for everything. Bye.